think you can go ahead and get started.
Yeah, sure. So, hey guys, welcome to the resume building workshop. I'm Rakshaa Viswanathan. I'm doing my undergraduate in electrical and electronics engineering from NIT Trichy in India. So that's a little about me. I love coding. I love all things tech. I love all things code. My new fascinations have been machine learning, quantum computing, and competitive programming. So if you guys have anything to ask me about that, you're free to do so. Yeah. So what would we be covering in today's workshop? So what exactly is a resume? How to make an amazing kick-ass resume, and some tips from people around the world. Yeah. So it's a little quote to start the day. Everything you want is on the other side of it. So we need to be courageous to venture out into new projects, new technologies, and just keep expanding and just keep building new things. So what exactly is a resume? A resume is a formal document that has the list of your professional qualifications, your work experience, skills, education, accomplishments, etc. Some universities or some companies might require a cover letter as well to supplement your resume. That would enhance your chances of getting in and being successful. So most important things, you need clarity. You need to be as clear as possible in your skills and your strengths. Make sure that you show them what you are strong in. Next is integrity. Make sure you don't lie on your resume. Make sure you write everything to the best of your knowledge. Have it answer with the utmost sincerity and be truthful. How to write a kick-ass resume? Guys, any ideas how to write a kick-ass resume? Anyone has any thoughts? Okay. I'll just proceed. Yeah. So you need the basic, excuse me for a bit. Yeah. So we need 4 basic things that you need to include in the resume. First is your education. Next is your contact info. Then your skills and your experience. Let's start off with education. So since this is a high school hackathon, I just covered the basic things. Like you would need to include the name of your institution, which city or country or state you're from, which year you're planning to graduate or you've already graduated, and what majors you've done or what degrees you have. And if you have any bootcamp programs, you could include that as well. And you can include what they taught you in the bootcamp, like front-end development or app development, etc. Make sure you add any workshops, any courses that you've taken into consideration in education as well. Next goes your contact details. That's your full name, your city, country, where you're from, your phone number, your any personal portfolios, GitHub, social media accounts, blogs, etc. Anything that's applicable and that's relevant. Work experience. Now that's a doozy thing. We need to include all the work experience we've had so far in a chronological order. So whatever you've done the most recent, that has to be done first. And then it has to go in a descending order. So let's say I work currently in Microsoft. I'm actually an intern at Microsoft right now. So I would include that first and then the ones that other interns that have done previously. So that's the way you're supposed to list your work experience. And make sure you may mention your job title, a brief description of what exactly you did during your work over there. Let's say you worked on the front end for a particular framework or for a particular app. Make sure you make that loud and clear and make sure you tell them what your contribution was for that project. One-line intros. These are very, very important. Make sure that your one-line intros are very clear, concise, and they're amazing. Like the moment the person sees this, they should realize that, oh my God, this person is amazing. We need to hire them. That's the type of impression that you need to give. So make sure it's short, crisp, and it elucidates how you are clearly. Yeah. Next goes with skills. So there are different types of things that you can list in skills. First would be the programming languages and frameworks that you've done so far, like React, Python, JavaScript, etc. Next would be the softwares that you're familiar with. Let's say MATLAB or Adobe Illustrator or Figma or Tinkercad, stuff like that. Next would be methodologies and practices. That it's actually a little doozy. You might not understand that at this time. You can Google about that. And don't list general skills like MS Word, PowerPoint, Paint, etc. Those are pretty, it's like a filler. So you wouldn't need that. Make sure that your resume is packed. Okay. And the projects that you're supposed to list, make sure you list all your creative, unique projects that cover the whole spectrum of tech. And make sure that you convey to them that you are ready to learn more. You are ready to explore new technologies. You are ready to expand your horizons. And make sure to list all the projects that you've built in hackathons, because that really conveys an idea that you could make a full-on app or a full-on web within 24 hours or 48 hours, respectively. So that's really important. And it is a real plus point to display the projects that you've built in hackathons as well. Some awesome tips. So make it succinct. Like, make sure that it doesn't last for more than 2 pages. Your resume has to be short so that the person who looks at your resume shouldn't be bored. They shouldn't just keep, okay, this person has so many credentials, so many courses. Okay, it just goes on forever. Make sure that it's interesting and it's short. And be selective about the technology skills that you list in your resume. Don't list everything that you've done so far. Have some left, okay? And make sure that you don't list anything that you haven't dwelt much with. And don't include every tiny project that you've done, any small PHP project that you did 4 years ago. That's not needed. So make sure that you have a recent set of projects that you've done and those which are interesting. And format. Format is very important for a resume. So you could use tools like MS Word or Resume Builder, CV Builder. A lot of them are available on the internet. You could use any of them and make sure it's really pretty, because appearance is key in the case of a resume. And that's a little from me. So that's how you build a good resume. Guys, any questions? I'm ready to take. Yeah, a template, the one that I followed for my resume was the one that was available in MS Word. The one which is very pretty. I'm not sure. It's actually pretty good. Yeah. I'll just give you an example of my resume. It might not be that great. Just a second. Yeah. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah. This is my resume. So what I've done is there's a little one-liner about me, what I'm interested in, what kind of research I would like to do, my education in reverse chronological order again, what I did recently, what was my schooling, etc. And then the kind of coursework that I took up. What are my core courses? What are my electives? What are my lab courses, etc. Then goes the work experience. Any internships or any work experience that you've done, you could list it over here again. And you can have a section for personal projects as well. I had it. I just listed a few of my recent projects. This is actually quite outdated. I have to revise this again. Over here are the softwares that I'm familiar with, the programming languages, what are the software I'm interested in machine learning, in web development, etc. And MOOCs are the courses that I had taken online. So that goes a list over here. And also, yeah, I forgot a major part that you need to include. Those are your educational achievements. You could list this under education, or you could make a separate section for that as well. And any extracurricular, co-curricular, volunteering things, you could also list that as well. So that's a little bit. Yeah, 1 second. I'll answer your questions just in a minute. Yeah. Do we need to include photo of yourself in the resume? It's preferred. Depends on what company you're giving it to. Most of them would like to know how you look. I mean, not for discriminatory purposes, but just as a feel of how you are. Our one-page resume is more preferred. It depends where you're applying for. One-page resumes are preferred because they are shorter and it takes the interviewer less time to look at it. But if you're not able to put all of your information within one page, you could do it in 2 pages. 2 pages won't harm you. So I see that you've attached links. If this was an in-person, given how would the person view the links? You could just list them. You needn't have it as a link. You could just tell them this is your GitHub profile and this is your portfolio. They could probably Google up later on. Why is it important to include social media accounts in GitHub and stuff like that? Primarily because they need to know how you are outside of work as well. People take that into consideration as well. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. And another thing is when you give your GitHub account, they're going to see all the amazing projects that you've built so far, all the awesome other creations that you've done that you might not list in your resume because there isn't enough space. Do I need an objective on my resume? It's preferred, as in you don't have to be very clear as to what you're going to do with your life right now, but you can give a rough objective like I'm interested in such and such. That would be really impressive for the interviewer to look at. That would be one thing. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay. So that concludes my resume workshop. I could send over the slides to you guys if you need any reference. And if you guys need a template, you can always look at mine. And I'll share my LinkedIn profile with you guys. If feel free to connect with me. And have a nice day, guys.
Thank you, Raksha, for teaching us how to build a resume.